Hey everyone, welcome back. In this week's grind episode, we're gonna look at something super overlooked, but a very easy modification, feathered trebles. Stay tuned. All right, so feathered trebles, super simple modification, easily overlooked, and a way to add great action to a bait, any bait, slow sink, suspend style baits like your Miradynes or your Miradyne XLs, even jerk baits, top water fishing. I mean, there's a myriad of different applications. You can almost use it on any bait. But in this particular episode, I'm really going to talk about it and how I apply it here with lip jerk baits and what that means. And so this here's a Shadow Rap, easily one of my favorite jerk baits, certainly in the top 3. Shadow Rap Shad is probably my number 1, but easy modification. So labeled on the packaging of these baits, it actually says slow sinking. But what I've done is, and this is the importance of having a dress treble on the back side. So what I've done is I've actually completely removed the middle split ring and hook. And then what I've done is I've replaced the front with a SPRO size 2 split ring along with the owner ST36 size 6 treble hook. Now on the back side is I'm using these Berkley Fusion, and this is also a size 6. And so now I've reduced the weight from the middle treble, and then now I've put this dress treble on the back side. And so as I'm twitching through that twitch cadence in the water, and I'll float test it here in a sec, but when you're twitching it through the water on that pause, it obviously darts side to side, still has the actual jerkbait action. But what happens is on that pause, it kind of breathes to life, right? And we're starting to see a lot of with hair jigs and rabbit fur and all these different types of jigs that when they come to rest, it kind of just gives a little bit, it almost looks like it's breathing, right? That water, as it comes to rest, it kind of opens up those that dress treble, and now it gives us some action. But on top of the action itself, it also provides a sense of drag, right? And so again, this is a slow sink. I've reduced the weight. What I'm trying to do is bring it back up in a column. I want it to ascend. And then now, as I twitch it, it's obviously darting side to side. Now it's gonna slow that ascent a little bit more because it's got some drag in the water. So now it's keeping it in that strike zone just a little bit more. So a lot of them use them, again, on those slow sink suspend style baits that kind of breathe life, slow the drag coming down the water column. I, on the opposite, want to twitch it down and want to slow the ascent coming up through the column and keeping that bait a little bit more in the strike zone and allowing these fish to hit it. So I'll bring y'all back. Super simple. Again, SPRO size 2 split rings, a Berkley Fusion, size 6 dress treble on the backside. Again, SPRO size 2 split ring in the front, owner ST36 on the front, completely removed split ring and hook on stock. And I do have a little bitty small size 2 split ring on the front of the bait itself, on the nose of the bait. So I'll bring y'all back. Let's take a look at the action. All right, so truth be told, it's freezing out here, but this is what I do. And I've moved it just so we can, I think, get a little bit more contrast on seeing the bait. But I always have and float test my jerk baits. So after I'm done kind of tweaking them, I don't test the action, right, and the darting side to side or things of that nature. But what I definitely try to see is the modifications that I've made to weight or reducing weight, how it's going to perform. So I always have a tank, a bucket. You can use a sink, whatever it is. But for this particular instance, I want to use that contrast to show, hopefully, the modification that we've made to our jerkbait. Here we go. All right, so here we are. We got our tank. I always use a thermometer because it gives me an idea of the density of the water. Obviously, it's wintertime, and so let's take a look. It's about 54 degrees, which is ideal because now that's a great simulation for the water temps that I actually really like to throw jerkbait style or jerkbaits in general in the wintertime. It's a great wintertime bait because you can twitch it really fast and kill that bait, and it really provokes that strike, right? But again, we're float testing our modified dress treble Shadow Rap. Again, ST36 in the front, size 6, and then the Berkley Fusion size 6 treble. Get that out of my hand. All right, so let's see how it performs. Here we go. As you can see, it slows that float. I always do it a couple times, particularly with these dress trebles, because as they get saturated, as you can see right here, it may change that action of the bait. So let's take a look one more time. As you can see, slow float to the top. So let's get it down there. As you can see, slow in that float to the top. And that was labeled as a slow sink in a package. I'm here on the Texas coast, so that water is fresh. The ones down in Laguna Madre, super salty. Gonna add increased density to the water, which probably means it's actually gonna float even faster. So a great shallow water jerkbait, adding the modification with the feathered treble on the backside to give it and breathe life into that bait on the pause, and also slow the ascent a little bit, right? And that hopefully will target a big bite. So until the next grind episode, thanks to our sponsors, Trash Cat Coffee, KWigglers. Until next time, guys, tight lines, God bless. Take what you need, release the rest. Take care. All right, just landed this fish. As you can see, that feathered treble, really good and breathing life into some of these baits. I'm up skinny, as you can see, a little over knee deep. But you can see this trout tried to headshot that bait. But that's the difference sometimes in those feathered trebles, is to just give a little bit more life on that pause and allow these trout to eat. So good fish. Let me get it released.